Amazon founder Jeff Bezos' net worth has soared past the $200 billion mark. Elon Musk is worth $160 billion. Now, should you dislike them for that? Or should you celebrate them? I've got a firm answer for you, and by the end of this video, you are going to get a new perspective on these rich guys. Hi, I'm Keith Weinhold. This is Get Rich Education. Jeff Bezos is the richest man in recent history. Now, should he apologize for the wealth that he built through Amazon? Is $200 billion just simply too much? When this was tweeted right here, some commenters seemed to think so. This tweet from Neil deGrasse Tyson says, not that anybody asked, but laid end to end, Jeff Bezos' $200 billion can encircle the Earth 180 times, then reach the moon and back 30 times, and with what's left over, make a stack 10 kilometers high. Now, some commenters on this thread supported Bezos, but a sizable minority did show some resentment. Dissenters wrote about this being unfair. Some people cried, hey, what about the homeless? And a couple even suggested that Jeff Bezos be beheaded at a guillotine. Now, I think that Jeff Bezos might deserve some criticism for some of his business practices outside of just the wealth building part, yes, but shaming him merely for being wealthy, merely for having a big net worth, that really makes little sense. This is wealth shaming, and really that's often the work of people that envy success. Jealousy is a disease. Most Americans that are the complainers have really had the same opportunity that Bezos had. Now, just take a look at this. This is a fairly well-known photo from Bezos in his office in 1999. It's almost a pathetic looking scene here with that stupid looking almost spray painted sign by hand. Well, Jeff quit the security of his high-paying Wall Street job in the 1990s to go try to figure all this out for himself when Amazon began as an online bookstore. No one harboring jealousy today saw the decades of what someone like Bezos endured, and that's namely loads of hard work, countless failures, frequent entrepreneurial risk, mountains of uncertainty, being misunderstood, bringing new innovation into the marketplace. And a number of those innovations failed, but many succeeded because he tried. And Bezos would go on to create more than 1 million jobs for others, really helping drive this nation's GDP. And today, Amazon delivery and some of the pioneering things that were done with Amazon drones, that gives both supporters of Bezos and dissenters of Bezos really the same quick, free delivery experience and a great selection. So Jeff Bezos got rewarded for his contributions. And you know, the Bezos critic is probably an Amazon customer themselves. Hey, if you would, go ahead and put a YouTube like on this video. That tells YouTube that it's a good video. You might not like the rich, you might not like the wealthy, but if you put a like on it, it might just be an indication to me that I'm helping at least give you a new perspective to see this through. I've got to admit, there was a time in my life where I kind of correlated wealthy with resentment. And you know what the pivot point for me was in changing my mindset on this years ago? It's that the wealthy are self-made. They're not so much born wealthy. That doesn't happen very often. If someone's born wealthy and they didn't learn how to create it themselves, it's usually pretty fleeting and they don't keep it. So that was really a catharsis for me, a pivot point in this. I learned, it was actually through reading a Robert Kiyosaki book, that being wealthy is a choice, something I didn't believe at first, but that really helped me mentally make that shift to stop being resentful. So I kind of had to peel back a few layers of my mental onion there.
Ogres are like onions.
They stink?
Yes. No, layers. We both have layers.
Kind of had to peel back a few layers of my mental onion there and get honest with myself and Part of it was stopping to tell myself this lie that money just doesn't matter. Well, that's not true. It sure does matter. And that really helped me progress from the mindset of merely living below one's means, when instead one can take those same efforts and you can expand your means. And really, vilifying the wealthy is pointless because when we admit it, really it's where we would all want to be. Things like health and happiness and significance and contribution and love, they're all more important than money to me. But you got to remember that money can simply buy some things that love cannot buy, like food and medicine and education and mind-opening travel. These are things that money can buy. Your freedom can really be bought with money. If you're tired of showing up at a job that you dislike, then a big lump of money would help you buy your way out of that. So instead, you could shift that and spend that money with your family. And that's something that those studies don't include. Those studies that show that you really don't achieve a greater level of happiness between 75K and 95K, but you would if you had enough where you could quit your job and open up your time. Those studies don't account for that. That's not measured. Now, do you think you could be a greater giver if you're wealthy or if you're poor? What position would you allow you to be a greater giver? It's if you're wealthy. Wealthy have the ability to donate to charity like few people do. In fact, Jeff Bezos is one of the most charitable people in the world. He's given away more than $10 billion. But some people just never really go for it in life. It's easier to stay safe and live an easy life and just complain about what others have. And I think this develops into a lot of this resentment or jealousy mentality. I'm fond of saying that a rich man digs for gold and a poor man is concerned with the cost of a shovel. This is available to nearly anyone if they want it bad enough. If you want to change the world, make the world a better place by affecting and helping more people than you can otherwise. Now, Jeff Bezos, yes, he has flaws like you and I, but it's not about Bezos. It's really about just the fact that one's amassed wealth. It just doesn't develop any disdain inside me. In fact, oppositely, it just proves what's possible. Really, we should celebrate that this can happen in America. You know, and the higher you rise, the more people want to scrutinize you and criticize you and bring you down. I mean, really, at what threshold would you have to start feeling guilty about the wealth that you've earned anyway? Would you have to start feeling guilty once your net worth is 250K? Or 2 million or 200 million? At what point do you need to start feeling guilty? See, it's an invalid question. It just doesn't make any sense. So what does this all have to do with building durable real estate wealth for yourself? Well, it helps develop your abundance mindset. You know, Bezos and Musk, they're not in a high place to look down on you. They're in a high place to show you what's possible. That's the right lens, the aspirational lens to view this through. That's just my take. I don't want to tell you how to think, but I would like for my thoughts to hopefully just give you another perspective, another lens, another filter for you to view your world through. And once you've quote unquote made it by building durable residual income streams through real estate, through Get Rich Education, what we do here, I'll tell you what, wealth and freedom is something that you are never going to have to apologize for. Hey, well, this is a somewhat controversial topic. Go ahead and leave a comment. I will do my very best to reply to your comment. If this is too perspective shifting for you in just one video here, I really want to know what you think. And you'll know when I reply in the comments because I will put -Keith after the comment. I'm Keith Weinhold. Thanks so much for stopping by and just allowing me to help stretch your mindset a bit on not resenting someone for being wealthy. I'm Keith Weinhold. Thanks so much for stopping by. I'll see you in the next video.
Americans are not saving for retirement. It's going to get worse as people live longer, so you need to think differently, but you can't lose your time. Real estate is the investment vehicle that has created more million and billionaires than anything else. Get Rich Education is one of America's top investing shows disrupting Wall Street. Your host, Keith Weinhold, is a true financial educator and has been an income property investor since 2002. Get Rich Education has created millions in passive monthly income for its followers. Now, Keith has a free course. Real Estate Pays 5 Ways. Sign up now at getricheducation.com/course. Invest in what produces income for you now and later. Use the link in the description to take the course for free. Real Estate Pays 5 Ways. Get Rich Education is on every podcasting platform and has its own native iOS and Android apps. Join Get Rich Education Nation to create financial freedom through real estate investing. Subscribe wherever you listen.